A man in Australia claims he was involuntarily sectioned in a mental health asylum because of his opinions on the COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah, really. A 47-year-old man who goes by the name Chris released a video from inside the mental asylum describing what happened to him just a couple of days ago. A father of 2 young girls, Chris says he's a professional, has a respectable career, and never expected anything like this to happen to him.
But today I was visited by 2 police officers and 2 mental health practitioners in Western Australia, and I was advised that I needed to go for a medical assessment. I was taken involuntarily in a ambulance to Fiona Stanley Hospital in Perth, and here where I've endured a so-called psychological assessment, and I've been deemed as having, well, verbally I've been told I've had a nervous breakdown, which is completely untrue, but the paperwork says something completely different. The paperwork says that I've had some sort of, I've got some sort of personality distrusting disorder of some sort, but I think it said I was suspicious. I think it was on there, suspicious, and for that reason they've issued me some sort of section, and I've been brought to what I can only call a prison and held against my will.
But get this, the reason Chris was sectioned was because his own wife grassed him up.
Well, apparently my wife has reported me.
What a fucking bitch.
And the reason my wife has reported me and being concerned is that I have a different opinion to her about the current situation with the suspected COVID-19 situation and everything that goes along with that.
Imagine being such an insipid, backstabbing normie that you get the father of your own children sectioned in a mental asylum for having a different opinion to you on COVID.
Conveniently, my wife is a pharmacist, a clinical pharmacist at one of the hospitals, but doesn't actually know the chief pharmacist at this hospital. Not that that could have anything to do with it. That would be paranoid schizophrenia, of course.
Again, bitch. Chris was told that he must remain in the asylum until he's given a proper mental health assessment. But he says he's got a lawyer and is hopefully out by now, so we'll see if we hear more from him soon. How many more cases like this are happening in Australia that we don't know about? This is happening in the aftermath of the Australian government making its intention clear to arrest conspiracy theorists who they thought might spread COVID disinformation in the future. We're talking literal pre-crime. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Australia has fallen. It's no longer a democratic country. They arrest old men for walking outside without a mask, in this case causing him to suffer a heart attack. They harass motorists in Australia for not wearing a mask inside their own car.
When you pulled over, alright, no one would ask if you, before you forward to put your mask on.
I said I don't need to.
Medical exemption, but then you didn't speak to us any further and you drove off, mate. So
I wasn't detained, was I?
Your exemption, please.
Was I detained?
Huh? I wasn't detaining you. No,
Well,
I was asking
I
you
drove
for
off
your
because I
medical-
wasn't detained.
I was asking you for your medical exemption.
So
mate.
now you're detaining me.
So now you need to show me your medical exemption, okay?
The military are out on the street enforcing medical martial law.
Troops have begun patrolling the streets of Australia's largest city, Sydney, to help enforce a prolonged lockdown. 300 soldiers have been deployed to assist New South Wales police. They are delivering food, conducting welfare checks and ensuring those who test positive comply with isolation orders.
People face fines of up to $11,000 for merely posting anti-lockdown content online. They arrest pregnant women in their own homes in front of their own kids for merely promoting protests on Facebook. All in pursuit of a harebrained zero COVID policy that can never be achieved. All of this and worse is going to continue until Australians stand up in unison and say enough is enough. To get exclusive content, early access, behind the scenes stuff, and to personally interact with me, please sign up for my community at pauljosephwatson.locals.com. Link in description, and thank you for your generous support.